Hello everybody and welcome back to an episode of Gungeon Radio. It's me Tech and playing the Paradox again. Continue to try unlocking the robot as usual. And today's episode is kind of a continuation from the previous episode. I'm gonna hold a therapy session for myself about my work life right now. Because, you know, the saying of when it rains it pours, flat bullets. Flat bullets is very nice. Winchester is fine. You know, yeah, you guys know when the saying when it rains it pours? Well, it's pouring. I mean, if you remember, or if you tuned into the last episode, you would know that one of my superiors is being very difficult to deal with, to say the least, for reasons that I believe are very childish. And now, the headquarters are giving us even more trouble. Basically what happened is that there was again, I mean, no one, let me just preface this by saying that our branch office, everyone who's here likes being here. We generally agree that our branch office, in terms of like the hours we work, the nature of the job that we do, we have no complaints. We enjoy it here, and we enjoy each other's company for the most part. At least all the employees do. Depends about the branch manager. It depends. We like, we like working here for the most part. So, when the headquarters suddenly decides that one of us is going to be relocated with immediate effect to start working at a different place, the start of the next week, all of us were, I think, understandably agitated. No one wanted to leave. No one wants to leave, I would say. And that's kind of like, it's a horrible thing to do. There was no notice given. Literally decided, it seems like headquarters decides these things on the absolute whim. And that makes us extremely angry with them. I mean, wouldn't you be? When someone just decides to relocate you, move you away from people that you've known for months, a place that you've finally gotten used to. Let me be clear, there was no choice in the matter. It's a case like, oh, you guys complain too much. This is not a the person was not given a choice. Whoever was going, they just had to go, and no questions asked. At least that was what the expectation was, and they were crazy if they thought that we were gonna abide by that. So, obviously, we tried as much as we could to fight it. But you know the superior that I mentioned that was giving us trouble last time? Guess who was all for it? Guess who was all for just lying over and submitting to the headquarters because he didn't want to cause more trouble for them, even though it kind of would ruin the rest of us. Like, that honestly kind of disgusted me. The fact that he would be willing to throw all of us, like throw any one of us under the bus. Even the ones that was still kind of supporting him. Like, I wasn't up on the chopping block first. I was not their first choice. It was someone else, one of my friends. And he was a nice guy, nice enough to maintain a level of civility with this guy this superior that giving us problems. And you know what? This guy, the superior, the branch manager, did not even try to stop him from being relocated. In fact, he treated it as a done thing. There was no attempt at kind of like, oh, I don't know, maybe trying to keep him at the branch. There was no attempt made to, like, the way he told, while my friend was obviously very distressed at the fact that he would have to move, he tried to tell a joke. Like, how insensitive can you be? And coming from a guy who had been so childish in the way he acted when things didn't work out for him. It just felt so hypocritical, because it was. I mean, we all knew that if he was in that situation, he was being relocated, he would fight tooth and nail, and he expected us to just lay down and take it. So ultimately my friend ended up going. Problem was that what that meant was that they, for whatever reason, they wanted one of us to go to another branch. Like, I made no mistake, I think my friend was chosen because he's he's competent. The headquarters is a good impression of him, and that's how they treat us. Instead of keeping us at our branch as a reward for doing good work, they decide to throw us around, relocate us to somewhere else. It's like, come on, is this how we're being treated? Are you really gonna you're gonna treat us like this, even though we are the ones who are competent and who've done our job and done it well, and haven't caused headquarters any trouble? And that's how you're gonna pay us back for that? I mean, sometimes, no, not sometimes. This headquarters is really messed up. But basically, I knew it wasn't long before I got called up too, because they wanted to send somebody. They were adamant about that. So if it wasn't my friend, well, it rotated around to me. And honestly, like, at first, I was, like, the way the message was phrased, like the way it was conveyed to me was so final. I was like, is there nothing I can do? Like, it seemed like I had absolutely no say in the matter, which was true. But it also seemed like that decision was final, because I assumed they didn't want me to try and fight leaving. what I found out was that they sent the exact same message to the other person who they were considering sending. Another one of my colleagues, not the first one. They sent the exact same message and they changed the name. And might I add that like the message included them saying like, oh, we think that you are the only one that we can rely on for this, etc, etc. And until I found out that essentially it was just all a hoax, I was almost ready to give in and go, but finding out that they actually sent the same thing to everyone, just like, I lost my faith in them entirely. They were not worth my time at all. They were not worth the time. They just made it so clear to me that they disrespected us so much that they would lie to us in attempts to get us to submit to them. I've never been a staunch supporter of headquarters, I made that clear. But I didn't think they were this bad. Evidently, my faith was misplaced. Because obviously they don't see us as human beings, it seems like, as much as they say they do. They make arbitrary decisions without our consent. They expect us to abide by them without question. Like, what is this? Do we have absolutely, like, are we not human beings then? It was just very frustrating. As I'm sure you can understand. At least I hope you can understand. Actually, no, I hope you can't. I hope you don't have to ever experience this. Because honestly, I mean, not only is it scary, the prospect of having to move and change, like, put your life into upheaval, but it's also entirely disrespectful to you. And so once we all found out that he was sending the same message without even bothering to. What the? Whoa. Dude, I can roll forever. But yeah, once I found out that they didn't even give us a modicum of respect, well, we planned to fight tooth and nail. We pulled all the strings that we were able to pull. We tried everything we could to get us out of the situation. In the end, well, I'm not moving. Let me just make that clear for anyone who was curious. No, I'm not moving. I'm very grateful for that. What that did mean is that the buck was passed to one of my juniors. And that feels absolutely horrible, because like, and he's a good man. I'll say that. He's honestly a very good person. Enough so that when he found out that he was, because obviously we would keep each other informed of the situation, when he found out that he was the one that was going to be sent, and we said we're sorry, he said it's not our fault. And like that was heartbreaking to hear, because it shows just what a good person he is and what kind of person we were losing from our match. And yeah, obviously it's not our fault, but I can't help but take some level of responsibility, because it could have been me. It could have been me instead of him. That feels horrible. Sucks. Sucks to know that someone had to replace you because of your selfishness. I mean, ultimately, the decision wasn't mine to make. Like, they could have easily just sent me still. The headquarters was the one that decided in the end to go through moving my junior there. But this still feels horrible. No one wants to be the sacrificial lamb, obviously. But people sacrificing unless they're totally self-absorbed, like, and selfish, like my superior was acting. I think it's hard not to feel at least a little bit responsible for that. And safe to say that, like, this crisis is over. There is nothing we can do. I just wish that wasn't the case. Maybe we should have fought harder to have my junior stay here. Maybe if we had another way to pull strings, or a way that we could fight back against the headquarters, which honestly is very hard. Like, near impossible, actually. Wow, that really hit me. Maybe we could have done it, but at the current situation, didn't go against company SOP, didn't go against this. I know it should, but our company SOP is absolute garbage. Didn't go against because technically I should say that my junior, the one who's going, was technically posted to us temporarily, and that's why he was the most easily moved. But still, though, it's a horrible thing to do, because we assumed that he would be staying here permanently because there wasn't anywhere else for him to go. Oh well. I guess it got us in that point. They really managed to get us. That's the only way I can explain it. They really managed to screw us over. Not like I expected anything from the headquarters, because I already knew they were bad, but I didn't expect them to be this bad. Let me just say that. I thought that we would get treated with more respect, you know, and it just turns out that that's not the case. And that's very sad for me, to me. Oh, I took damage apparently. Can't really see, so I'm not that surprised, but I have the bolster, good. And let's open this, why not? Mustache. Cheaper shops, I believe. Let's get the robot's head. I don't even know where the secret room could be. Guess it could be here. No, then let's go. But yeah, I hope that none of you ever have to experience this. There's a lot of stress that was involved. I mean, mean, I guess it's all part of working, but at the same time, if this is part of working, that's really shitty. Sorry for being so frank. But yeah. That's what's been going on with me. And I mean, work has also kind of been affected by the coronavirus that's going around. So that was also a period of upheaval and chaos because we had to do certain things differently. Changes which have since been revoked, possibly. There's a lot of uncertainty going around. And them pulling this at this specific time did not help at all. In fact, I question why they did that ever. Because obviously they should know that this is not the time to be making any huge changes in terms of manpower. Especially when we have so much other stuff to deal with already. But apparently they don't care. They just don't care. That's what I have discovered. Let's use Rubidium something. Yeah, sure. Let's move on to this jury topic. I know that there's been... what was I thinking of? Actually, you know, I really don't feel like talking about it. Let's move on to a different topic, but I'm not sure that I'm not ready to talk about anything too happy, I guess. But what I will talk about is the fact that there are some interesting developments going around, especially in terms of the Celeste series. I think I don't know whether I'll change the format of that because I'm not that good of a platformer, so I take a while to get through some of the levels. Maybe I might try this. I might do a lot more and a more edited cut of that, just so that you guys don't have to sit through all the mistakes that I keep making. Especially on the ones on the rooms that take a lot longer to do. I think it's not too fun to have to watch that. But we'll see. Ooh, the badge is very good. I would like it. Do I have the money for it? Perhaps. Owl is also very good. I do not have the money for that, unfortunately. Just dodge. Don't be afraid of dodging. I would just lead to misery. Actually, I mean, since this episode is already so I've talked about my work so much, why don't I talk about more fun work stories that I've had? Although it's a bit hard without. No, it's fine. So basically, like, we work in like human resources kind of thing. Like, we deal with customers, human relations a lot. We deal with customers very often, like face-to-face kind of thing. And that means that there are very often times when we get difficult customers, and it's very fun to interact with those people. Oh no. At least 3 free items here though. Wow, wait. 3 litchi fingers? Wait, is that even allowed? Question mark. Never heard of that happening before. Oh, but. Oh. All I need is faster reload speed, and I'm set, baby. Never mind, apparently I just did. Thank you for listening to me rant. This hasn't been a very uplifting episode of Gungeon Radio, but thank you so much for watching anyway. Like the video if you did, subscribe for more daily content, and comment down below. Catch you all next time. See ya.